Good afternoon, and it's all about Championship and relegation issues on the programme today. We're at Main Road to see two teams battling it out for points in order to stay in the First Division, and that's Manchester City against Bolton, a game with a really sensational finish. Then from the other end of the table we've Manchester United, who are away to Crystal Palace.
It'll come to Fenwick. Crowd urging him to get a shot in there. Well, it'll come to Hilaire. He might indeed. Oh, he's done too much, surely. Oh, just passed there by Terry Fenwick.
And that's followed by a second division game involving clubs near the top and near the bottom, Luton Town, who are at home to Burnley. But it's our main match, which contains all the drama and all the tension one might expect from two sides placed so precariously beforehand. Bolton at the bottom against Manchester City, just one place away from being in the relegation grouping. And that adds up to a lot of pressure for the men involved. Bolton's Stan Anderson.
We've tried to go out basically to enjoy our football at the moment, because a lot of people saying we're down in the second division and it's going to take a miracle for us to get out. So we've basically come here to enjoy ourselves and hopefully play an attacking sort of game and get some goals. That's important.
What should we look out for tactically?
Neil Watmore and Carter have performed very well in the last two matches. I'm hoping that Carter keeps up his goal scoring record of the last two matches. He's scored in both matches. And he's been a good player, and he's looked the part, and that's important to us, because if he starts scoring goals, then I think it gives the other players confidence. I think Novak on the line, who's been out of the side for a long time, he's just recently got into the side for a fair spell. I think that he is going to be an important figure on the line.
And pressure certainly for City's Malcolm Allison.
It's a game that really we should win, and so before, if you should win it, then we've got to win it. To satisfy everybody. And also the position in the league is very difficult at the moment, and if we win today it would be a lot of pressure off us.
How will you be trying to relieve that pressure tactically?
Well, tactically we will play rather similar to we did last week at Old Trafford. We'll compete with them in the middle of the park, and I just hope that up front Roger Palmer and Kevin Reeves and Dennis Stewart can give them lots of problems.
How important is a win for you?
Well, it's important for Manchester City, it's important for me, it's important for the players. We haven't won for 14 games, which is a long time. It's like a nightmare.
Well, Manchester City's latest £1 million signing, Kevin Reeves, can't escape the expectation that he'll have to shoulder a lot of the responsibility. But Steve Daly is ample proof that seven-figure fees don't guarantee easy success. He was dropped a fortnight ago. And Bolton, in a more modest way, have learned that lesson with Len Cantello. Their most expensive signing at £350,000. Len has failed to reproduce the form he showed with West Brom. And our check on the lineups, both incidentally unchanged. Two of City's defenders, Joe Corrigan and Ray Ranson, were with the England B squad in midweek. Paul Parr is okay after suffering from concussion after a collision playing head tennis in training. And Roger Palmer, who came on as sub at Old Trafford last week, keeps his place today. Bolton will be looking to this defence to keep watertight today. Recent away games have produced rather too many goals against, and there'll be a lot of interest in the performance of Phil Wilson, the 18-year-old midfield player who has kept his place since his debut in Stan Anderson's first match as manager. And up front, Stan Anderson has already outlined the hopes he has of Mike Carter and Tad Novak. Alan Seville from Birmingham is the referee, the first time he's been in charge of a game here at Main Road. Manchester City in the pale blue strip, kicking from right to left in this first half. Pitch a bit soft, but perhaps better than we were entitled to expect, because there's been a very stiff, albeit very cold wind. Cantello. Got above him, but the ball played back to McDonald. Nicholson. Meant for Reed, but didn't find him. Henry. Ranson trying to wriggle along the line. Foul is given. Some indication of the problems that these teams have had is that 10 of the players in the starting lineup today didn't play at Burnden Park in November when Manchester City won 1-0. Stewart tried to turn it back in, and Stewart is coming round on it, and a good save indeed by McDonough after City had whacked the opening in the first minute of the game. Ball seemed to take a long time to settle for Stewart, and McDonough made the most of it. Good nod off by Reeves, and then McDonough getting in the way of Stewart's shot. Bailey's corner, Palmer coming in, Watmore clearing and getting the benefit of the throw as well. Clement to take Bolton's throw-in. For Novak. Reed couldn't find his way through against two men, and Booth came across to put the ball up for a corner. So a corner at each end in quick succession in these opening minutes. Daly organising. Novak trying to steady the ball for the corner, well outside the semicircle. Swinging into the near post, and it's now a goal kick. To Corrigan. Cantello, Bolton. Nicholson. Novak couldn't get away. Carter now with Novak ahead of him. And Carter still going until Caton made a good tackle. Cantello hit the referee, and Daly clears. Henry. Stewart. Foul on Stewart, who has been making the most of this free roll that he's given, roaming the pitch, filling in just behind the two front runners. Ranson with the free kick. Clement under pressure from Caton. That's a wasted ball. Henry over the top for Daly to see if he can get through, but it was never on. Offside. Reeves left and Palmer right, but nobody actually taking the touchlines for City. This is Palmer. Henry. And that's into no man's land. Tony Henry just knocked a ball down into the corner there, obviously expecting someone to be on the run. Nicholson. Novak tackled. Cantello. Wilson. And lost by Clement. Palmer. Daly has got away. Palmer calling for it back. Bad clearance out. Power still waiting. Power's cross. Stewart. And a goal from Stewart. Dennis Stewart celebrates his return to Main Road with his first goal in his second spell with Manchester City. Parr knocks the cross deep. Stewart gets a foot to it, and McDonough seems to be mispositioned. Dennis Stewart's first goal on his return to Main Road, and McDonough trying to cover the near post, couldn't then somehow stretch to keep it out on the far side. The game only 9 minutes old. Manchester City 1, Bolton 0. No emotion from Malcolm Addison and Tony Book. Carter. Reed robbed by Henry. Palmer. Foul has been given, the foul on Stewart. Daly. Nicholson's header. Turned in by Booth. McDonough to Reed. Foul by Booth on Watmore. Mr. Seville wanting words about that. Sort of tackle from behind that the game has been trying to outlaw. Tommy Booth, not a vicious player by any means, but certainly clattered right through Watmore from the back then. And Watmore really feeling it. It's the tackle coming. No chance at all for the forward there, unaware of the man coming in behind him.
Mal, how do you think it's going so far for you?
Well, it was a good opening goal, you know, great work by Kevin Rees, knocked a good ball out to full power, and it was a great cross, and Dennis took it brilliantly, and it was a great opening for us, and that's what we were looking for.
Cantello forward. Caton. Carter. Wilson. Once again, City working hard to close down the angles, and this time they get a free kick for a foul. Tommy Caton to take the kick. He and Joe Corrigan, the only men who've been in every City game this season. Reeves. Palmer. Stopped fairly easily by Cantello. Nicholson. Bolton finding it very difficult to work the ball out of their own half for the last quarter of an hour or so, but here are possibilities through Carter with Novak in the middle offside. No! And the ball just wide with the linesman's flag staying down. Carter made the break. Novak was in position but couldn't apply the finish. Really wondered there whether Novak had got too far ahead, but there was no flag from the linesman. Corrigan's rush out did enough to put Novak off. Jones penalised for a foul on Palmer. Caton with another Manchester City free kick. Dennis Stewart running left to right across the box. Reeves' header. And a foul given against Palmer. It's Carter's ball. There's a foul by Caton. I think there was anything particularly malicious about it, but it was clearly ill-timed. Didn't catch the ball at all. Clement. Ooh, the good jump. Cantello. Peter Reid just found too many blue shirts blocking the way. What now can Wilson do? Wanted it back on his right foot, but he's played a good-looking cross. Reid's header was across the box, but Manchester City escaped. Carter. Palmer. Daly pushed off the ball by Peter Reid, and so Manchester City have another free kick in the last seconds of this first half. Caton. Header in by Booth and out again by Clement. Henry. Shadowed by Peter Reid. Daly. And Daly's shot covered on the edge of the 6-yard area well by McDonald. Daly given the chance there by Henry. And we're now in time that Mr. Seville is adding on in this first half. Daly. Reeves will chase it. Dangerous kicking by Paul Jones. Oh, that's the angle. It's quite a long way out. It's 30 yards or more. Caton, misunderstanding. Tommy Caton disappointed with his free kick, but his defensive work has really been excellent in his first half. And that is the end of the first half. Dennis Stewart back at Main Road for his second spell, scoring the vital goal which divides Manchester City and Bolton Wanderers as they go in. Join us again for more action in a few moments.
Dan, what did you tell the players at half-time?
We've got to get forward a little bit better, and you know, we've got to take the chances when they come now, because we're one down and we need to get back in the game as quickly as possible.
Where are they causing you problems?
They're not causing us a lot of problems, we're causing our own problems. You know, we haven't passed the ball as well as we should do, and we've just come into it the last 20 minutes, and I think we're going to show an improvement the second half.
Parr. Daly. Too high for Palmer to have much chance, really. Jones out of the penalty area, straight to Nicky Reed. Nicky Reed again. And here's Stewart for his second of the game. Marking all went wrong, and it was simply a matter of whether Stewart could control it and turn it in. And turn it in he did. City whacked it a couple of times out on the left, and when the cross was knocked long, Stewart was free to score his second of the game. Now that's Daly down.
Malcolm, a marvellous time to score your second goal.
Yes, excellent build-up. Lovely ball from Nicky Reed, and Dennis controlled it and put it away brilliantly. So it was a nice start to the second half.
Have you changed anything for this second half at all?
No, not yet. No, Steve Daly got a bit of a knock, but I think he's okay. He had an injection at half-time. I think he's going to be okay.
Nicky Reed. Parr. Swinging over the cross and finding Henry. Bolton free kick, obstruction on Tad Novak. Peter Reed. Walsh. Clement. Novak ready to make a run through the middle, but nobody aware. It was a foul by Nicky Reed. Cantello. It's an easy header out for Caton. Peter Reed will try and set something going again for Bolton. Novak and Reed had gone to support him, and that made the gap for Novak. Carter. Carter very confident and very clever on the ball. Good cross. What a beautiful goal that was from Watmore. And how much of the credit goes to Carter. Sort of skill that Bolton fans used to love from Frank Worthington, and Watmore getting low for a very good goal to capitalise on Carter's skill. Some really superb tight skills here from Carter. He's gone past three, and that's the fourth, and how beautifully judged that cross was, and a brave diving header finishes it off. So that's given the game some real life 8 minutes into the second half. Manchester City leading 2-1. But a goal there of real class and quality. It's a corner to Manchester City. Bolton bench has some reason now to be a little bit more optimistic. Tony Dunn there, the assistant to Stan Anderson, in the back of the picture. Henry beaten to it by Cantello. Cantello again. Wanted to play it early, but there were not many options for him. This is Peter Reed. Daly for Manchester City. Henry. Cantello. Novak down. Now Wilson and Watmore. Novak in the middle. Carter saying he'll take over. Here he goes. The pass wasn't really very good, and Henry got it clear. Daly for Manchester City. Reeves. Wilson. That's a good ball from Wilson to Carter. Carter now 1 against 1 as he takes on Ranson. Goes for a good shot, which Corrigan saves well. Goalkeeper was perfectly positioned. But Carter, real confidence and skill, took on his man, found himself the opening and hit the ball well, but Corrigan was perfectly positioned.
Goals really put you back into it.
Yeah, second goal was a very bad goal to lose, but we're back into it now, and it's back to square one as we were at half-time. Good goal. Mick Carter did very, very well to get that ball in, and Neil Watmore finished it off very, very well. So we're back in it now, and I think they're under pressure a little bit now, but we've got to keep our heads, and we haven't got to lose another goal.
It's gone out, both sides claiming it, and it's a corner. McDonough making sure that he's got the cover he needs. And the corner swung over, and he hasn't got to it. Jones it was who cleared it high in the air. And now it's out of the penalty area, but knocked back in by Power. Daly is there, Tuart is behind Daly. Daly can get it across himself. Walsh heads out. Still not very far. Bolton not really getting this ball clear when they have the chance. And it's very muddled and scrambly in there. Really could go anywhere. Caton will have a try. It was deflected. McDonough saved well, and saved well at the second attempt from Palmer. Tommy Caton let go a very good drive. Palmer had a go at the rebound, but McDonough was equal to them both. But there was some very muddled defence there, which gave Caton his chance. I think there may have been a deflection. McDonough saved well once and well again. Game that's not been without its mistakes, but not without its skill and excitement either. No handball given. I think it actually hit Caton in the face. Tuart. Daly to cross. Reeves let it go for Palmer, and Palmer couldn't turn to find the shooting angle. Henry missed kicks, ball ricochets, and Cantello can clear for Bolton. Very little has gone right for Tony Henry this afternoon. Peter Reid. And Bolton now are going to make their substitution. Paul Jones will come off, and Mike Bennett will make his debut in league football. Was substitute once before this season against West Bromwich Albion, but wasn't called on then. An England youth international, Mike Bennett, played indeed at right back in the 4-0 victory against Denmark last Wednesday. Clement. Cantello. And he finds Carter well. Novak has gone into the inside left position. Carter goes past Ranson, clips over the low cross which Corrigan cuts out. Peter Reid was running in, but again there was a glimpse of the skill of Mike Carter there. Has that priceless ability and confidence to take on defenders in the penalty area. Goes past Ranson there, now has room and time to play the cross. Corrigan stopped that one. Palmer to Daly. It was a well played ball, that. Power. Daly. Nicky Reid shot high and wide.
Malcolm, with your experience of the last 14 matches, is there still that fear of losing the game in the last 10 minutes? Do you still feel that?
No, I don't feel that at all. I never feel that I'm going to lose a game.
Feels for handball by Booth, and the referee gives the free kick to Bolton. Now Cantello to drive one well, and what a very good save from Joe Corrigan. Cantello hit that extremely well. It was hard and it was accurate. That's a very good shot from Cantello, and what a good save it was too from Corrigan. So Novak to take the corner. Walsh coming for the header. Corrigan at full stretch, hanging on well under pressure. Ranson. Stewart. Watmore. Henry. Palmer. Henry again. This is Bennett. It's a nice little dummy by Peter Reid. Ranson. Reeves, and coming in to take advantage of that is Parr. Put it well wide in the end, 6 yards wide, but it was a well-worked move by Manchester City. Back header really gave some space and opportunity to Parr. And here he is coming in on the ball, and in the end the shot goes well wide. Harrison to Peter Reid, harassed by Henry. Cantello, and free on the left is Novak. He's been found well on a number of occasions by Cantello, but his crosses have been, on the whole, very disappointing. Bennett's throw, Watmore trying to turn Booth in the penalty area but failed. Palmer. Bennett. Pass back to him by Cantello, didn't give him much chance, but he still managed to get it out to Novak. Bennett has gone on for a return. Peter Reid, Watmore, it's very tight, but Reid might just get something here, but he's put it over. He was under pressure from Ranson, and he couldn't afford time to control the ball. Had to hit it on the volley, and was always underneath it. Off his chest, and then on the volley over the top. And Bennett to McDonald. Booth, Cantello, Novak. Cantello. Bolton Wanderers' long run without an away victory in the league seems bound to go on. They haven't won an away league game for almost a year since they won at Old Trafford. Novak fouled, and it's a free kick. Well, Bolton have to hurry. There are not going to be many more chances, and Corrigan found a very good punch to deal with that one. Nicholson fouled, free kick to Bolton. The Bolton fans now just trying to lift their team for one last heave. Played nearly a minute over the 45. Boo the good header out. Nicholson turning it wide. Corrigan appealing for offside, which is not given. Now they ask for handball, and it's been given against Ranson. It's a penalty. Ranson clearly thought he'd got that on his chest. Now, what happens here? Oh, that was handball, all right. No doubt whatsoever. So, a minute and a half over the 45, a chance for Bolton Wanderers to salvage a point. Peter Reid, 2-2. Reid gets the goal, the Bolton fans are on their feet, and Bolton have stolen a point. Well taken penalty, no chance for Joe Corrigan. May well be that there's barely time to restart the game. Well, yes, Mr. Seville's going to let us go on. Looking at his watch now, though. And there is the final whistle. And Bolton Wanderers and Manchester City have shared the points at Main Road. And as the directors go back to have a drink and think over that, there are the vital statistics. Dennis Stewart's first goals for Manchester City for just over 3 years, but the really telling one, that dramatic last-minute penalty from Peter Reid.
Well, Malcolm, you said beforehand that this was to be the day of judgment. What's your verdict at the end of it?
Well, I felt that if we'd have played with a bit of composure after we scored the second goal, I don't think we'd have had a problem at all. But we still were a little bit tense, and they scored in the 92nd minute, so, you know, it just went against us.
It does seem to be you and your reputation that's on the line, though. How do you feel about that now?
No, I know about my reputation. It's not on the line, my reputation. Just that we haven't got any, we're not getting any results, you know, not the results that sometimes we deserve.
But doesn't, in the end, a manager stand or fall by results?
That's quite true, he does. That's nothing to do with my reputation.
Would you feel hard done by if the club were to dispense with your services at this stage?
I think you would as well, you know, if you'd done half a dozen bad programmes, wouldn't you?
And Malcolm Allison still in a fighting mood despite the sickening blow of that last-minute penalty, which provided Bolton's Stan Anderson with plenty to smile about.
Well, I thought we got what we deserved, really. I mean, the boys battled tremendously well right till the finish, and all right, we scored in the last minute, but I think they deserved it. Right throughout the match, they played tremendously well. We lost a bad goal. The second goal was a really bad goal for us, and we haven't been giving that sort of goal away for a while. But when you think that we were 2 down, we fought back to 2 each, and that's a tremendous achievement.
Who particularly in your side pleased you?
Well, the boy that pleased me most was young Mick Bennett when he came on, because we lost Paul Jones with a groin strain, and he came on and he fitted into the side remarkably well. I mean, all right, he was only on 15 or 20 minutes, but he did remarkably well. I thought young Mick Carter again showed his class.
Did very well on the first goal.
Laid the first goal on tremendously well, and he had a knock early on, and he did tremendously well to battle on right throughout the match. Len Cantell, I thought, played tremendously well, and so did Peter Reid.
You're very pleased with the way things have gone since you've taken over, obviously, but has it come too late, or can you get out of trouble?
Yeah, I think everybody's saying that it's come too late, but we'll battle on. We're now beginning to enjoy our football, I think, which is important from the players' point of view. And if, you know, we're playing matches now, and if we can go and enjoy it, then that's half the battle. And of course, we're scoring goals, I think, which is always pleasing to players, pleasing to spectators as well, I might say. And we're in a mood now to sort of go away from home especially and sort of say, well, look, we want to enjoy the match, we want to score goals. And if we score goals, then our public will be quite satisfied.
Well, let's have a final word on that match now from City's Dennis Stewart, back in goal-scoring form at Main Road.
Yeah, well, it worked pretty well the way I spoke to Malcolm playing in the United game, and coming here I felt just a little bit of possibilities coming from a slightly deeper position and getting into blind positions to pick up loose balls, and it worked on both goals. It worked very well.
This, in fact, is a different role from the one we were accustomed to seeing you play here in the old days.
Yeah, well, I felt when I played up front for the first couple of games, I didn't feel there was enough coming through to the front men. I thought there's a little bit of an empty space sort of from the back to the midfield and from the midfield to the front. And I felt if I just played sort of in between those two positions, I could possibly link up.
Do you think there are a lot more goals to come like that?
Well, I hope so, obviously, but you've got to be careful because people are going to be watching.
Yes, I was really wondering whether it was just an occasional plan or whether it will work on a permanent basis.
I think if the players that we have on the side, when Malcolm picks the side, if the players feel comfortable within that position and they're quite happy with it, and it's successful, obviously, then we're going to maintain it.
You'd then be disappointed, having got the 2-goal lead, to see it disappear.
Well, very Very, very disappointed, Gerald. It was in a circumstance where we were 2-0 up at home and we should be dictating the play from then. And possession is 9/10 of the law, and we didn't have those 9/10.
So why not?
Well, because we didn't have possession. We kept giving the ball away. I think I would call it just a little bit of unprofessionalism.
And this is how the bottom of the First Division looks now. Bolton still at the bottom, but by only 3 points from Bristol City. But now Manchester City and Everton locked on the same number of points, and those two sides meet on Wednesday at Main Road. And these are the fixtures remaining for both Manchester City and Bolton. City still have to play Derby and Bristol City. For Bolton, every game is vital to them. Well, the Manchester United manager Dave Sexton said in order to win the Championship, his side must win every game, such as Liverpool's lead at the top of the First Division. Well, United had a formidable task yesterday at Crystal Palace, a game covered by London Weekend. Brian Moore is the commentator, and United are in the dark shirts.
Nicholas, Hinchelwood making a run on the far side. Flanagan's up in there too, and McQueen had thought that was going out, and Walsh was very nearly in there. That was a very good break there by Palace, and Gordon McQueen, of all people, was so nearly caught out with a run on the far side, pulled back in there towards Ian Walsh, and a corner resulting. But some good play again by Martin Buchan. Here's the corner. And on to the roof of the net. Goal kick. Get an idea how the wind is blowing behind Billy Gilbert there. Should be easy for him to make his voice heard with that wind behind him, though. Ball really flying at Gary Bailey. And there's an indication he can't even reach the centre circle with his kick. Jordan, cut out by Sanson, but Wilkins was there to reach it. Fenwick. Hilaire. Walsh and Nicol. That's a Palace throw. It's a bit cold out there too, as well as windy. Kenny Sanson with the throw. Sanson's throw. Touchdown by Walsh to Hilaire, trying to play that on, but couldn't quite get it through to Fenwick. Hinchelwood to Hilaire. On to Hinchelwood. Good play by Palace. A good break by Paul Hinchelwood. And a nice cross coming in, and Jimmy Nicol getting there. But Hinchelwood will take it up again. Albiston closing on him. Placing it wide here for Nicholas. In for Hilaire. Lovely play. And a shot across the goal. Oh, brilliant stuff. And a brilliant save by Gary Bailey at the end from Peter Nicholas. A really lovely piece of football right the way through there by Crystal Palace, and in the end a good piece of keeping by Gary Bailey. Hilaire. And now Koppel. Nicol. Quarter of an hour to half-time. Albiston, Thomas. And Jordan with the header! 1-0 to Manchester United. A thundering header by Jordan. Well, that's a little expression there says it all. A slick move down the left, and the cross slung in just the way Joe Jordan likes them. What a powerful header that was. Hannes getting it away with Cannon. 2 against 1 as Ockham and Ulverston get back quickly in the face of the threat of Walsh. Into time added on at the end of the first half now. It'll come to Fennick. Crowd urging him to get a shot in there. Well, it'll come to Hilaire. He might indeed. Oh, he's done too much, surely. Oh, just passed there by Terry Fennick. Gary Bailey looking daggers at the defence, who dithered a little bit there. But all that skill from Vince Hilaire came to nothing, and then Fennick saw a chance. And look how close that was to going in. Well, the half-time whistle has just gone, with United going in, 1 goal into the lead. Free kick to Palace. Foul on Peter Nicholas. Cannon. Now Hinchelwood. Jordan's after him. Hinchelwood did well there. Found Terry Fennick. A nice curling cross in there towards Flanagan. And Walsh hit it over. I thought for a moment Flanagan might have had a go at that. That was crossed in superbly by Terry Fennick, who's having a really good game. Flanagan, I thought might have had a go, but he tried to get it back for Walsh. It's fairly bright here at the moment, but as you can see, it may not be for long. Long kick there by Gary Bailey. Macari nodding it on for Mickey Thomas. Just kept it in. McElroy. Cross by him towards Joe Jordan. Corner for Manchester United. You can hear trying to get behind their team with the cry of Eagles, even though it's United on the attack at the moment as Coppell takes this corner. Floated again towards Joe Jordan, and it's for Gordon McQueen, kicked off the line by Jerry Francis. And Macari's header going behind for the goal kick. Well, that could so easily have been the game beyond the reach of Crystal Palace, except that Jerry Francis somehow got that effort off the line. McQueen's header, Hilaire, Fennick up ahead of him, Sanson's making that bounding run outside him, as you can see. Forward for Flanagan, now for Sanson, played in quickly there towards Walsh, nodded down again, Flanagan with a shot, oh! And Gary Bailey grabbed it as it jumped off his chest. That shot from Flanagan. Oh, a little touch there, Coppell hoping to get on the end of it, but Fry again dived in there. Macari, Wilkins, Nicol. Thomas, Ulverston, Thomas, and let fly is he? What a goal! Mickey Thomas, 2-0. Well, you had a beautiful view of that. And he'd been thinking about that for a second or two before he'd hit it, and the chance was there, the range was right, the direction was absolutely perfect, beyond the flying David Fry. into the corner of the Crystal Palace net.
And by virtue of that 2-0 victory, United closed the gap on Liverpool to 4 points. Liverpool, though, having a far superior goal difference. So what a vital game it is for both clubs, especially United, when the two meet at Old Trafford next Saturday. Well, now the details of this week's Snapshot competition from Gerald Sinstad.
It's true, we told you last week, what they say about the scoring exploits of this player. He is in fact one of the small band of current players with more than 200 league goals to his credit. And it's true that he is the Wrexham striker Dixie McNeil, as a great many of you wrote to tell us. Kick-off T-shirt winners are Mark Gallagher of Crumpsall, Manchester, Andrew Griffiths, who lives in Chester, Tommy Mitchell, Liverpool, S. Fowles from Whitchurch, and Andrew Radcliffe of Southport. Now here's a new selection of snaps from the album of a player whose career began at a celebrated launch pad for his position, though just at present the rocket is heading in the wrong direction. Answers on postcards, please, to Snapshot, Kick-off match, Granada Television, Manchester 3. Snapshot, kick-off match, Granada Television, Manchester 3. And don't forget to mention your T-shirt size.
Well, now we again turn to a North West club really desperate for points in order to avoid relegation. That club being Burnley in the second division and third from the bottom, as you can see there. And they were away to Luton Town, still in with a great chance of promotion. That was a game covered by Anglia Television. Jerry Harrison is the commentator, and Luton are in the shirts with a single stripe down one side.
For Grealish. Gets away from Jacob. Now, here's Dixon with Hatton. Steen's gone into the middle. He's got support behind from Stevens. There goes Stevens on the overlap, but it leaves space for Hatton. Easy one here for Steen. Good save, and Aaron's just got it away, but goalkeeper Alan Stevenson saved Burnley there. There's likely to be a lot more of those. And Robertson dwelling on the ball, holding it well and getting it out to James. So who's up here for Burnley? There's a flag up for offside, although it's put into the back of the net by Malcolm Smith. It won't count. Whistle had gone some time before. Indeed, the danger was at the other end. And this one was legal, although from a very near position after Hatton had worked his way through there superbly on the right flank. Here's Steen going in there for the header, which he should have had, but the goalkeeper saved well. West a good bit of play to Hatton against Dixon, but it won't run at all, and for he who waits, it usually comes to him. Jacob with Ricky Hill, but Jacob got away well there. Nothing wrong with that. Hill's after him, but Jacob in there with a good ball to Smith, and palmed away by the goalkeeper, but Burnley almost opened the scoring there through Malcolm Smith. And Aarons cuts that one out. Luton certainly not adapting themselves well enough to these conditions. Leighton James. Smith again with Hamilton in the middle looking for the deep one. Hamilton's there. He should perhaps have got that one. Two Luton defenders there, both of them beaten, and Billy Hamilton close to another goal. So that's two occasions in the last minute in which Burnley have almost scored. The cross by Smith picking out the big man, and the diving header just wide. It's back for Brennan. Well won by Hamilton. Pearson nicely in, but Donegan's control wasn't there. Stronger, though, than Scott. Scott's after him. Forward for Ricky Hill, but it's not quite positive enough, but he did well to get there. Now Bob Hatton. The goalkeeper's hand just killed the pace and diverted it enough for it to miss that far post. But Hatton there worked his way into a good opening well, and Stevenson saved Burnley. Stevens getting it. Leighton James won that one though. Now it's Robertson who's supporting him on the right. He's been driven wide by Grealish and beaten. Now Hatton, but it's got to be to him, but a mistake by the young central defender, and Hatton's in there. And deflected by the other central defender, Overson, wide of the post. Well, a chapter of accidents there. First of all for Dixon, when Hatton really had lost that ball. Dixon slips, Hatton gets it off him. Then when the cross comes over for Steen, it's Overson who gets in the way and just goes past the far post. Hatton a flick on. Too strong for Ricky Hill or Steen. But Brennan does well to find Robertson. Stevens battles in there, but it's Jacob. Gets away from Grealish beautifully. Stevens is back, holds that one off as well. Back to Robertson. Smith, good run by Smith. Pulled it back to Hamilton. It's put it in the back of the net, and Burnley have scored. Well, that was a superb movement. Smith is hurt there. He rode a couple of fairly fierce challenges before he got down to the byline. That was an excellent piece of play. First of all by Jacob, then by Robertson, now by Smith. That's one challenge that hurt him. Another one rode there and down to the byline, gets one back, and Hamilton's from about 4 yards just tucks it past the goalkeeper's stretching hand, and it's over the line. Price coming in here, but it was Smith with the header. Pearson and then Hatton, and West couldn't quite get there. But I must say, when Pearson does use the ball quickly, he uses it very well. Brian Steen being held back clearly by Overson. Getting through here, past Brennan, must be an opening now for Bob Hatton. And the equaliser halfway through this second half for Bob Hatton. But what a brilliant run by Brian Steen. Steen here turning away from Vince Overson. Overson tries to hold him back, but he's quick, this fellow. Not the strongest, but so quick. And past Brennan. Now can he pull one back? And the experienced hand is meeting it on the near post. But certainly Dixon won that one, but it's a free kick, which is a bit harder than I thought. However, free kick to Luton with Saxby on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Weston Price on the ball, Hatton by the penalty spot, Brian Steen the other side. Looking for Saxby, leaning on a few people. The whistle has gone. Saxby penalised for the elbow. Well, you can see how defenders are trying to stop him get to the flight of the ball, and he's trying to get there. So it's a pretty physical battle. There he is leaning on him, but in it goes. Now, who's to blame? Him for stopping him, or the defenders for getting in the way? That hit Ricky Hill, and Brian Steen might be in on this one, but Dixon gets it. No chances taken, but we're coming up now to the 90-minute mark. The referee checking his watch at this second. And Paul Price doesn't get one anywhere near Saxby. That was the intended one, and now of course they're a bit light at the back here as Burnley break with Leighton James. Man free right over the far side is Scott. He's in a great position. Scott here, if he can get an opening. Oh, he hit the bar. What a winner that would have been. because we're in injury time, and that certainly would have wrapped it up. Well, the classic counter-attack. James, 3 players were telling him to get it over to Scott. Scott is there, he has to double back on it, onto the left foot, and then the shot beat the goalkeeper, but not the bar. And that indeed is the end of the game.
Well, this is the bottom of the second division table, and that could really be a vital point indeed for Burnley, whose remaining fixtures include Easter visits to Wrexham and to Newcastle. Well, that brings us to the end of an exciting programme highlighted by the goal which launched Bolton's determined comeback against Manchester City.